at a certain age, you should be able to move out from your parents' house to your own home and apartment before you even move to your husband's house. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Amazon AM ACZON Evia, and it's story time. Okay guys, so this is my second story time, and today's story we're going to talk about moving out of my parents' house. Okay, now I need y'all to do one thing for me. Okay, I know you're going to say something about all of the smoking eye situation going on here, but girl, that's a video for another day. Okay, I'll link a video up here for how this entire look was put together. And if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a huge thumbs up, turn on the notification bell and click on all, so when I have a new video you'll be the first person to know about it. Alright, let's start straight into my video. Moving out of my parents' house. Now, I finished uni at the age of 21, I think 21, 20, thereabout, 21, 20, I don't know, 21 thereabouts. And that was 2015 that I did finish uni. And you guys, we need to talk about this, okay? So when I finished uni, I sat around in Calabar for a long time, for a couple of years, I think a year or two. But within the time I'd been around Calabar, I'd actually traveled to Abuja because I needed to see my sister. And then when I came, it all looked cool and everything was so amazing and the city was cool. But the thing was, I wasn't making friends, okay? And I just woke up. Let me just go back a bit. So I woke up one morning and I told my mom and my dad that I would like to move to the FCT, that I needed to go stay with my sister and all of that. And at the time, my sister had been here 2 years before I got here. So when I told them, they said, did she have a place to stay? And I said no, she didn't have a place to stay. She only stayed with my aunt. So she had a place to stay, but not a place of her own. She stayed with my aunt, and at the time she was working for my aunt. So I just said okay. So when I talked to my parents, I said, because I hear that there are better job opportunities in the FCT and I could just get a better job offer, and then while I wait for NYSC, or even try to ensure that I redeploy to the FCT if I'm posted for the national service. Now, national service is a compulsory service that you have to go through as a graduate in Nigeria after graduating from college or university. Okay. All right, that's just the background story. So when I told my parents I wanted to move, my dad said, okay. So my parents, luckily for me, my parents didn't even feel like I was doing too much. My mom just said, was I sure I was going to get a job? So before I got here, I started applying for jobs in Abuja. So I stayed in Calabar and I started applying for jobs. And then when I applied for the first job, a lady who happened to be my cousin's client, my cousin told the lady about me that I was going to come to the FCT and if she would get me a job in a travel agency. So she said no problem. So I told my mom, you see, I got a chance, okay? So my parents were so excited. They just helped me with the entire preparation. And then at the point, my sister said, you could send money and then we'll get an apartment together, which was what I did. My dad was able to raise some cash for me, my mom inclusive, and then we sent some money over and my sister got this apartment which we're staying right now, and it was amazing. When I got here, everywhere was so cool and so nice, and the apartment was so secure and safe, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna be fine, okay? So I stayed here at the time, and after a while I got so sick for like a month or two. I got so down with typhoid because my system had not yet adjusted to the water here, and the water in this town is terrible. Yeah, guys, let's not even go there, okay? So it became a problem for me. So I got so sick, and when I recovered, I moved back to Calabar. I went back home, guys. I didn't have no friends. I didn't know nobody. I didn't go out. I was always at home, or if I'm not home, I'm at my sister's salon, just sitting down there and whiling away time to whenever she's closed from work, and then we'll get back together. Okay, so but at the time when I got back to Calabar, I just stayed there for so long. I got involved with this theater group where we started acting together and all, and it was fun at the time. But over time I just discovered that I needed more than just a theater. I felt like Cross River State and Calabar had already provided me what they were supposed to provide me with, which was the basic education and exposure to school, and I felt like I needed to go carve my own path and my own niche for myself, my own place for myself. So I had to leave town again, and a friend of mine really pressured me. He said, you need to leave that place, if not you're going to be so stuck up and you're going to be so complacent and you're not going to make progress. So when he told me that like a night before, I called my parents and I said, you know what, I think I'm going to leave on Saturday and I'm going back to Abuja. And they're like, are you sure about this? Okay, we didn't make arrangement, you would need cash and all of that, and the rent was getting into a year. So I just told my parents they needed to believe in me, that I was going to make sure that I get this all put together, and my dad said it's okay. So I left, and that was like a few days after I told him I was going to leave. I left and I came back to Abuja, and at the time when I came back, I just told myself, look girl, you've got to wake up, you've got to make friends, you've got to look for a way around you. Okay, so I saw this advert of a certain outdoor group on Facebook that was based in Abuja. So I clicked the link, I joined the group, and that was how I made my first set of friends. Okay, and then I met Perry and Leisha and Eagle Cakes and Gracie and the rest of them, Uncle Ben and the likes of them. Okay, big shout out to them. They were like my first friends in the FCT when I got back the second time. So, and it was cool. And then NYSC called and I had to, go to Yola for a period of 3 weeks to, do my compulsory orientation camp before actually redeploying to serve. And then I got to Abuja. Now, when I got here, I was redeployed to Niger State, Suleja. That story for another day. If I tell you guys my NYSC story, y'all ain't gonna believe it, okay? But Jesus got me, I swear to God, okay? And then at a point when I got back, I started looking for a job, and still on this other group I joined again through a friend on Facebook. I was able to meet this guy who I spoke with, and I told him I'm a youth corps member and I need a job, okay? So you might want to find me something. And he said, okay, he's going to look out for something. And then there was a vacancy in his office, so he said he was going to look out for me. After a while, the vacancy was taken, so I had to look for another place. And he looked for it for me. And this guy literally just pushed me. You guys, I'm a big procrastinator. So he pushed me, and it's like, you are going to make sure you go submit your CV, meet the man, because I already fixed an appointment and this is crazy if you turn me down. So I had to go. I met the man who turned out to be my first boss in the FCT, and then we started working together, and it was great. It was amazing. I was doing something I liked, working with computer websites, and then handling advertisements and handling interview sessions for some of the people we were working for the NGO he had at the time, and it was bomb at the time, and it was great. But I just thought, like, after a while I actually wasn't making progress. Okay, I wasn't making progress at all, so I had to move to another job, and that was how I moved from there to the travel agency. So I worked as a travel agent for a few months, because you guys, if I'm going to tell you about my bad bosses in Abuja, that's going to be a story for another day as well. Okay, but let's not talk about my terrible job experiences in the FCT. Story for another day. I bet some of y'all gonna be able to relate to the story, okay? But that's by the way. So I got that job, and then from there I moved to the radio job. From the radio job I moved to my current job, which I'm doing at the time. Now, why am I telling you all the story? I feel like a lot of people, especially Nigerians, we do not really cultivate the culture of having to have our kids leave the house. At 22, my dad still felt I was still small to leave the house. And although he did grant me his permission and approval without hesitating so long, there are a lot of people who actually don't get it that easy. I feel like you cannot just move, because it is like a Nigerian and African thing. You have to move from your parents' house to your husband's house. But I feel like with all that is happening so far, and with the world changing and the times you're living in, as a young lady, you need to actually learn to live with yourself, okay? Now the exposure is coming crazy because the sun is out, but that's by the way. Okay, you need to learn to live with yourself. I feel no lady should just move from their parents' house into their husband's house. Now, this is why, because you need to understand what it means to pay bills on your own, guys. You need to understand how it means to pay rent. My dad paid the rent for this apartment for 2 years before I started paying, and I know what it means actually having to, work and save some cash and budget and do investments just so that I don't get to sleep on the streets, okay? Because I told myself I was not going to pressure my parents anymore to send cash for my rent. I was going to do that all by myself, okay? So I had to work my way all the way to this point that I am, and there should be that point where you're able to pay your bills by yourself. You're able to foot your bills. You're able to decide how you want to live your life. You're actually able to rediscover yourself. You're able to express yourself within your own space. So you have your own space, you're rediscovering yourself. You know the routines that work for you, you know the things that don't work for you, you know what your morning routines are like, you know what kind of person you are when you get back home without all of the noise. You're back to your peace and comfort and quiet. And that is one of the reasons why I feel like at a certain age, you should be able to move out from your parents' house to your own home and apartment before you even move to your husband's house, because you need all of that time to rediscover yourself and all of that time to plan your entire life. You need to know what adulting actually is like, okay? Having to wave down Uber, actually having to sort out your bills, actually having to do budgeting, actually having to know, I don't think I need to spend all of this cash on, you know, this item because I need to spend more on ABC thing. And that's basically it, okay? So that's like a glimpse of my story of moving to the FCT and why I think you should move out of your parents' house, you know, to a point, and then kind of like get your own apartment and live with yourself, okay, till you're actually able to understand yourself. You actually know this is a thing that doesn't work for you, or this is what actually works for you. All right, guys, so that's basically it, okay? So till next time, I'll see you guys in my next story time. Let me know if you enjoyed the story, okay? I'll see you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a huge thumbs up if you want to see how I got this whole situation going on here. Then you might want to subscribe, turn on notification bell, and click on all so you get to see what's happening. Bye.